If you took all the DNA from just one of your microscopic cells and stretched it out, it would measure about 2 meters long. That means the DNA inside your body right now could stretch from Earth to the Sun and back dozens of times. Yet your body packs this entire biological instruction manual into a microscopic space inside every single cell. This library is your genome. It is the complete set of DNA that makes you, you. Understanding how it is organized is the first step to unlocking the secrets of life itself. In this video, we will unpack the human genome and explain how it works without confusing jargon. We will explore how your body stores billions of instructions, reads them to build cells, and why most of your DNA does not code for physical traits. By the end, you will understand the chapters, recipes, and letters that write the story of human life. You will see how this microscopic manual guides everything from your eye color to how you fight disease. Let's dive in. To understand the genome, we need to see how cells organize information. A genome is the complete set of genetic instructions needed to build, grow, and maintain an organism. Think of your genome as a massive, multi-volume cookbook. In humans, nature does not print this entire cookbook on a single giant scroll. Instead, cells divide it into 46 distinct packages called chromosomes. You can think of chromosomes as the individual chapters of the cookbook. We inherit 23 chapters from each parent, giving us 2 complete sets of instructions. Each chromosome is a tightly coiled thread of DNA, which stands for deoxyribonucleic acid, the molecular database holding all genetic information. Think of chromosomes like the individual books in an encyclopedia set. If you lose one book, you lose all the entries inside it, which is why having the correct number of chromosomes is vital for health. Inside these chromosomal chapters are the individual recipes. In biology, we call these recipes genes. A gene is a specific segment of DNA that contains the instructions to build a single protein. Proteins are the physical building blocks and microscopic machines that do almost all the work in your body, from digesting your food to contracting your muscles. To write these recipes, nature uses a surprisingly simple alphabet containing just 4 chemical letters, known as bases: adenine, thymine, cytosine, and guanine. We abbreviate them as A, T, C, and G. Every gene uses different sequences of these 4 letters, which pair up to form the steps of the famous DNA double helix ladder. According to the National Human Genome Research Institute educational guidelines, the genome represents the entire cookbook, providing the complete set of instructions for the cell. Chromosomes correspond to the chapters of the book, representing the large physical packages of DNA, which number 46 in humans. Genes act as the individual recipes, representing the segments of DNA that code for proteins, totaling approximately 20,000. Finally, base pairs represent the letters on the page, which are the chemical units, abbreviated as A, T, C, and G, that store genetic information. The gene for hemoglobin, the protein in red blood cells that carries oxygen, is a specific recipe of about 1,600 chemical letters on chromosome 11. A single typo in this recipe can cause sickle cell anemia, illustrating how crucial each letter is. You might think our cookbook contains only protein recipes. However, scientists discovered that only about 1 to 2% of our 3 billion letter genome actually consists of protein-coding genes. For a long time, researchers called the remaining 98% junk DNA because they did not understand its purpose. Today, we know this is a major misunderstanding. This non-coding DNA is not junk. It acts as a sophisticated control panel. It contains switches called promoters and enhancers that tell cells when and where to read the recipes. After all, your brain cells and skin cells share the exact same genome, but they look and act differently because they use different genetic switches. Imagine a cookbook where 98% of the pages do not contain recipes, but instead contain warnings, notes on when to serve the dish, and directions on how to adjust the heat of the oven. Without these instructions, the kitchen would run into chaos. To fit all of this information into a cell, nature must be an expert packer. The DNA in a single human cell is about 2 meters long, but it must fit into a nucleus that is only 6 to 10 micrometers wide. If you scaled this up, it is like packing 40 kilometers of thin thread into a tennis ball. Cells achieve this by wrapping DNA around structural proteins called histones, forming structures that look like beads on a string, which we call nucleosomes. These beads fold and coil tightly into chromatin, which then condenses into chromosomes. This structure is dynamic. The cell unwraps specific parts of the DNA when it needs to read them and wraps them back up to protect them. Just like spooling a very long kite string